Welcome to Lesson 49, Multiply Rational Numbers, a Lesson 49 of Numbers and Operations. Our objective and our first example. So there's no rules and notes on this one, so let's just jump right into it. So 4/5 times 9/11. Let me put the pin on. 4/5 times -9/11. Oh, wow, this is simple. Okay, so we have the fraction 4/5 times -9/11. And so when we multiply fractions, tops multiply tops. So 4 times 9 is -36. 5 times 11 is 55. But 55 can only be reduced by 5 and 11. And 36 does not have 5 or 11 as a factor, so we're done. This is the fraction in simplest form. Okay, now look at what we have. We have fractions and decimals mixed together. There are two ways of approaching this, and so I'm going to do it two ways. So on this slide, I'm going to take 25 and turn it into a fraction. And so if we divide by 25 over 25, 25 divided by 25 is 1. 100 divided by 25 is 4. Okay, so I'm going to make this -1 and 1/4. So I'm going to do what's in parentheses, so I'm going to have to add it to 5/8. So doing our math, 1 times 4 is 4, plus 1 is 5, -5 over 4, plus 5/8. We can't add two fractions with different bottoms, so 4 goes into 8 twice. If I multiply 5/4 times 2 over 2, I get -10 over 8 times 5 plus 5 over 8, which gives me different signs. So we get -5 over 8 times -4 over 5. Now I'm going to cross multiply 1 and 1. A negative times a negative is a positive. 4 and 8 cross multiply, and I get +1/2. Okay, so on the next page, I'm going to turn them all into decimals. So 4 divided by 5, 0.8. Yeah, that's 40, that's 0. Okay, so that's -0.8 times -1.25 plus 5 over 8. 5/8. 0.6. 48. Subtracting, you get 2. 2, 16, 4, 0, 0. 625 plus 0.625 -1.25 plus 0.625. Add a 0, 4, 5. We're subtracting because the signs are different. 2 can't multiply 6, so we got to borrow 1 from here, make that. And that's 6. Take the sign of the larger number. -0.8 times -0.625. So 625 times 8. 40. 16 plus 4 is 20. 6 times 8 is 48, plus 2 is 50. And we had 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers behind a decimal, 0.5, which equals 5 over 10. When you reduce that down, you get 1/2. And that's the same number we got on the other page. So it doesn't matter whether you do these as a decimal or a fraction, you get the same number. You just had to do a lot more math with one way than the other. And this is how you add rational numbers. You had to convert them into either fractions or decimals and then do the operations. Okay, so this is the end of our 2 examples. Please meet me at the end of the video for the recap. Okay, so we have 6/7 times 4 1/3. So I am going to just change this to an improper fraction. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 1 is 13 over 3. Cross multiply, 1, 2. You get 26 over 7. And this is the correct answer, but you cannot leave it like this. So now we have to divide by 7 over 7. No, I'm sorry. What am I doing? I'm not reducing. I'm changing this in. 7 into 26 goes 3 times. 3 times 7 is 21. You get 5. So if I were to stop here, this would be 3 and 5 over 7. And this is how you get a fraction. The number on top is your whole number part. The remainder is your numerator, and then divisor becomes your denominator. But if we want to keep going and turn this into a decimal, we just add zeros. Put a 0. 7 times 7 is 49. 1 is 7. 3, we get 0. 30. 4 is 28. Subtracting, get 2. Add a 0. We get 2, which makes 14. Then we get 6. 8 is 56. We get 4. Put a 0. 5 is 35. And we get a 5. And look, a 5. We get another 5, which brings us back here. Which goes to prove my point that whenever you divide by 3, 6, 7, or 9, most numbers will come up with a repeating decimal. So, as a decimal, you get a repeating number. And that stops at the 7. The 3 is not part of the repeating. It's just the decimal part that repeats. Okay. One more problem. Find a product. So Again, we're just going to deal with the inside, and I am not going to turn these into decimals because I know that 6 repeats and 3 will repeat. So 7 times 6 is 42, plus 1 is 43, so I get negative 43 over 6, minus 2/3. Now this is adding and subtracting, so I had to have the same bottom. So I'll multiply this by 2 over 2. I get negative 43 over 6 minus 4 over 6, which will give me negative 47 over 6. And now I can multiply that by 3. But you're saying, how am I going to do this? Well, how do we turn a whole number into a rational number? We put it over 1. And then when we multiply tops and bottoms multiply bottoms. 6. 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times 4 is 12 plus 2 is 14. Negative 141 over 6. You can't leave it like this. 141. 6 times 2 is 12. 21. 3. 18. 3. Okay. As a fraction, we should have 23 and 3/6. 23 is right there. 3 was your whole number remainder, and 6 is your divisor, which goes down the bottom. 3 and 6, you can divide by 3 over 3. You get negative 23 and 1/2. Okay, so 5 times 6 is 30. And that ends right there. So negative 23.5 equals negative 23.5 as a decimal. So we have it as a fraction and a decimal. So that concludes this video. If I went too fast on some of the fraction math, please go back and watch the whole series of fractions so that you can bone up. You can always jump to other decimal videos and other adding integer videos to help you if I went a little too fast. Again, practice, practice, practice. So if you have this lesson, find a textbook or somewhere, a workbook or something where you can get some practice in. Thank you for watching my videos. Subscribe and hit the notification button.